There's a lot of talk about the fear of AI, especially as an artist. Um, and I can understand why that fear could be warranted. But I also understand that a lot of things that come our way, as far as the realm of technology or innovation, in the realm of the artist or the creative, it doesn't always spell doom for the art form or for the craft itself. It simply means change more often than not. We get used to doing the traditional things and we don't look at what these new tools could do, what their potential is, how they can actually augment what an artist does. And I think we look at AI as visual artists from a visual perspective. And that's where the insecurities happen. And we start to think, wow, this is going to replace me as an artist because with these tools now, anybody can make a vision that's similar to mine. Anybody can make anything that they want. So it doesn't make art special. Well, I beg to differ. Um, Not in the fact that it doesn't make art special, but what it potentially could do negatively to artists. AI will never have the soul of a human being that's an artist. The artist will never have to worry about being replaced. What the artist will have to worry about is whether or not they use these tools. And AI isn't necessarily just a visual medium. I'm going into a secondary business, and I'm entering the realm of passive income. And I've been using AI not to create the pieces because the artwork's already been created. What I'm using AI for is to jog ideas. Chat GPT is one of the AIs that I'm using right now. And what it does is it's basically, if you use it right, it's a way to reduce writer's block, artist block, because it generates ideas sometimes that you may not have thought of by entering the proper prompt. So, in this way, what it does is what sometimes family members do. They give you good ideas. They give you angles that you might not have explored. Well, that's what this AI is doing for me. It's not necessarily about stealing, the visuals and the whole concept. But what it is it gives me an answer when something seems completely daunting. And the amount of questions you can ask is almost limitless. And this is amazing considering the infancy of this accessible form of AI. So what I would like to say to my artist friends is before you fear it, learn what it actually means when the smoke clears. When the smoke cleared with crypto, we found that it was not as viable as we thought it was. At least not if you were into the get rich schemes. And going back even further, let's look at some of those creative things that came in the past that we were afraid of. Let's look at one thing: the digital camera. The digital camera was looked at by a lot of traditional photographers as the second coming of Satan. They did not like the idea of it. But as time went by, what ended up happening is that these artists found out, even through this medium, you still have to be good at what you do. There are tons now of digital artists or digital photographers, and not all of them are good. That artist, the most pain that the artist was dealt was having to learn how to manipulate images in a different way. But those pictures were just as incredible as the as their previous works, and that came from their talent. That didn't come from just some kind of weird technological magic. So when the smoke cleared, you still had good artists and not so good artists, great artists and mediocre artists. And the medium had changed, but the display of talent didn't. It was still honest in the way that artists probably appreciate these days. Same thing holds true with film. Digital film has largely replaced 35 millimeter when shooting, and it can be manipulated to mimic um, 35 millimeter film. But what it can't mimic is whether the film is good or not. The talent, the overall talent, still belongs to that of the creator. So there are people that are going to use AI to generate images that are absolutely for the sake of quick buck commerce. But when this new era kicks into being, I would really ask artists to take a deep breath and exhale and understand that they are not going to become obsolete so long as they're willing to learn how to apply these tools to their vision, um, and to their creative process, and not solely rely on them for their imagery. You know, a new day and age always comes, and it's very unnerving. I don't necessarily think that this is a new era that we have to be nervous about. I'd like to know what everybody else thinks that's a creative. I'd love to get everybody's opinion. Uh, and I want to see later on if everyone feels the way in the future as they did initially when all this began. So, like or subscribe and help grow this channel. Take care.